Hi, Todd VanDenburg here with VanDenburg Capital Management and another Uncommon Sense update. So the markets have been pretty volatile lately. We've had the Dow falling below 30,000, because of some of this stuff that's going on that I'm going to explain here in a minute. But now, as we sit here today, the Dow's sitting at about 30,700, recovered almost all of the losses, and so it's sort of business as usual. But there's a really important lesson to be learned about what has happened here in the last couple of weeks, and that's what I want to talk about today. So, as many of you have heard, there was a company called GameStop that its share price had was just going up and up and up and up, and there was a reason for that. And so, if we back up to GameStop itself as a company, it's really sort of troubled. Its business model is not awesome. They brought in new leadership that's going to try to do something about that. But the institutional investors really had pretty much decided that GameStop was potentially going to go away. So they made a bunch of investments using what are called options, betting that the share price of GameStop was going to go down. Well, a bunch of retail investors, so not institutional people, just average people like you and me, got together on this bulletin board called Reddit, and they said, hey, we see that the institutional investors have made really big bets that GameStop stock is going to go down. And I mean, really big bets. We think that they're exposed here. Why don't we all go buy GameStop? Because if we all buy GameStop, we can push the price of that stock up, and that'll squeeze the institutional investors and cause them to lose money and other things. So that's exactly what happened. All these Reddit investors signed up for this investing app called Robinhood. In a lot of cases, this is sort of a sideline, but in a lot of cases, they took their stimulus money and dropped it into Robinhood, and they started buying up GameStop. And so as GameStop is going up, these people that had bet that GameStop shares would go down found themselves in a really awkward position. I mean, I'm not using GameStop's price here, but let's say GameStop had been trading at $100 a share when the institutional investor said, I think it's going to go down. If the Reddit investors jump in and push it up to $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 a share, again, this is a made-up share price, that puts the institutional investors in a bind, because what the institutional investor did, and this is sort of how the option trade worked, is they sold an equity they didn't own. So they sold shares of GameStop with a promise to deliver those shares in the future. Now, if you sell something that you don't own at the current price, you want that price to go down so that when you have to go buy it back, you're buying it back at a lower price than what you sold it for, so that you can actually make a profit on the deal. Well, again, go back to the Reddit investors using Robinhood. As they pushed this share price up, these option trades became, not only not worth money, but they were going to cost the institutional investors billions and billions of dollars. And so the institutional investors tried to hang on, tried to be patient, but because the share price of GameStop continued to rise to levels that I think had never seen, at a certain point, the institutional investors, because of limitations placed on their financial situation and their financial stability, were just forced to go out to the market and buy up the shares in order to cover the positions that they had sold. And all of those buys pushed the share price even higher. So it was the perfect storm, and it was very harmful to institutional investors. I mean, I think at last count, I'm not even going to put a number on it. It's just tens and tens of billions of dollars were lost on GameStop alone in the institutional space. Now, something else happened that was also unique, in that Robinhood was never designed for this type of a situation. And Robinhood also allowed individual investors to make options trades. So Because of the volume of trades and the nature of the trades that Robinhood allowed to happen on their platform, as soon as GameStop's share price went through the roof, now Robinhood as a company, as a custodian, as an entity that helps facilitate trades, the regulators looked at Robinhood and said, hey, you need to do something to shore up your balance sheet, because based upon these trades that you've allowed to happen, you're not a financially stable entity. And so, the Robinhoods of the world, they had to go out and actually raise capital, and Robinhood did. They got investors to contribute a couple of $2 billion to shore up their balance sheet. But that wasn't because they wanted to. It was because this entity called the DTCC and the SEC put the hammer down and told Robinhood, you have no choice. You need to be in a financial position where if your retail investors can't make good on some of these trades, you can. And so the retail investors, again, so now I'm moving forward to talk about Robinhood. At a certain point, Robinhood had to stop the bleeding. And so they stopped the ability for you and me to trade on some of these equities. And that caused a lot of pain for a lot of retail individual investors. Because if you're sitting on some GameStop and the share price had run up, maybe you wanted to buy some more. Well, sorry, Robinhood wouldn't let you do it. Well, if you wanted to sell, it was a lot harder to find buyers for GameStop because Robinhood wouldn't let anybody buy it. And TD Ameritrade shut down GameStop as well. So many custodians put some restrictions on the ability to buy GameStop. Well, okay, that drove the share price down pretty rapidly. So we had GameStop going up 50%, down 50%, up 50%, down 50% within a matter of hours. It was insane. But there's no grand conspiracy here. And this is the biggest item I want people to take away from this update, is the system worked as it's supposed to work. There are guidelines in the system as set forth by the DTCC and the SEC, the different regulatory agencies, to try to make sure that we have an orderly market and that we don't have people making promises that they can't make good on. So if Robinhood allows people on their platform that can't make good on their promises, Robinhood has to have the ability to then step in and make good on those promises. And therein lies the rub. So it looked a little like Robinhood shut down trading in order to give the institutional investors time to get out of these option trades and buy up the stock at a lower price. And so people were already complaining that, look, the big guy got the break and the little guy, the Robinhood stopped us from trading. And it's really more complicated than that. There were many different moving parts to sort of what caused Robinhood to have to shut down trading on some of these equities. And it has nothing to do with a grand conspiracy or collusion or anything like that. Now, if this sounds complicated, it's because it is. It is a complicated way to trade. It's specifically complicated if you're making trades based upon a bunch of your friends on Reddit who think you can pump a stock up. That's just not investing, and we don't recommend that people do it. So if you have any questions about this or more about option trades, again, please don't, nobody should hear this as a recommendation to trade in this manner or that I'm saying that you should use option trades. These are risky investment strategies that only people that know what they're doing should be allowed to do. And everybody who did them signed a contract that said that they understood the risks. So if anybody has any questions about this or how these different trades have affected the markets, please just give me a call, shoot me an email. I'm happy to answer any question. I've already answered quite a few emails that I've gotten regarding this situation. Just reach out. I'm happy to answer. I'd rather people understand and be aware of the real things that are going on and not get wrapped up in the conspiracy theories that say that there's something untoward going on, because that's not really what's happening. So that was your update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a like, give us a share, and I'll be back again soon with another Uncommon Sense update. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to be the first to hear of more uncommon sense updates like these, please click the subscribe button below. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks again.